Do you hate the weakness question because you have no idea how to even answer it? Like you're so concerned that you'll ruin your chances of even getting the job if you're honest. Well, I want you to watch this week's video because I have a completely different and unique way of looking at the weakness question based on my experience of interviewing like 10,000 plus people and an easy formula to follow it so that you answer it in a way that's genuine, authentic, and gets hiring managers so damn excited. So stay tuned. Hello, I'm Sarah Curto, and I'm the career coach that helps you go from hating your current job situation, whether it's a long as heck job search or a unfulfilling, exhausting job, and get you into work you love, where you make more money, where you have more balance, and where you are able to create the impact in the world that you want to be creating. And every week I come here on YouTube and I drop new training videos on Thursday that help make the whole process faster, easier, and create an inevitability of it all happening. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification so you don't miss a single video, and so that I can keep coming here and giving you all this free advice. So the weakness question. I love the weakness question. In fact, I did a whole interview series for a type of role I was looking for, where I literally asked all weakness style questions because they are the best. I know as an interviewee, they feel like the worst, but you get so much incredible information. It creates such a strong connection between the interviewer and interviewee that I just love it so much. But it's because I also know why. So why are they even asking this question? Now, it is not to trip you up. They're not trying to get you to throw yourself under the bus. That is not what they're trying to do. In fact, what they are trying to do is see, are you self-aware enough to know when something is going wrong? Can you pick up that something's going wrong? Number one. And then do you know how to fix it? Can you overcome it? That is what the weakness question is really telling us. And in this age of increased remote work, in this age of increased autonomy at work, in this age of increased leadership opportunities in terms of actual leadership opportunities, but leadership and ownership opportunities in our own work, that ability to be self-aware is vital. It is so important. And that is why this question is not going away anytime soon. And why, in fact, you might even see more than one weakness style question in an interview. So what are those weakness style questions? Now, there's a variety. There is the literally, what is your greatest weakness? There's, tell me about a decision that you regret. Tell me about a deadline you missed, or a mistake you made, or a time when you disagreed with your manager, or you got negative feedback from a client or a manager, or like all of these things that kind of deal with what we would think as negative opportunities. From an interviewer point of view, we're looking at learning opportunities, and we're seeing how you handled these situations, because they happen. Like, we're normal human beings in a normal human being like workplace. Mistakes, errors, issues, problems, it all happens. And what we want to see as an interviewer is how you navigate that, how you overcome it, how you can talk about it. So that is why there are so many different weakness style questions coming all the time in interviews. So why I love them is it's an opportunity. It gives us an opportunity. And what this opportunity is, and this is something I saw, especially in the last 2 years of interviewing people, where I saw people throwing out outdated advice and started to give more authentic and genuine answers. I saw a marked change in hiring managers. So a marked change in myself, because what an authentic, genuine, great, well discussed weakness question, and you notice I said well discussed, not like perfectly presented. Weakness question gives us an opportunity for connection because it's relatable. We are humans who also make mistakes. So when you are delivering a story of a time when you stumbled and picked yourself up, like we can't help but like get on the floor with you and want to encourage you to get up. So this connection that is created is so strong in the interview, but then it creates a long lasting memory of who you are and what you bring and what you represent. Memories that hiring managers compare every other candidate to. Memories that lead them to not just wanting to give you an offer, but maximize that offer because they already feel like they know you and what you would contribute and how they could mentor you and groom you and manage you. So that is the opportunity it gives. You can see I get pretty passionate about this subject because I love a good weakness story. Okay, the formula. There's a 4-step formula that I have created based off of what I saw in those interviews and what really did well and what really did not. Now, what this formula is not, it is not anything out there. No one else talks about the weakness like I do. I think that's part of the reason why I'm so passionate about it. It is not steering clear of something that may preclude you from doing the job, like whatever, because I don't really know. It is not a hard skill. Hard skills you can learn. So it is not my weakness is I'm not very good at Excel. It is not a hard skill that you can just learn. It is also not a strength or a weakness, a strength masked as a weakness. You know, those like, I'm a perfectionist, or I'm too hard of a worker. It is also not the typical perfectionist, hard worker, but also one we would see a lot is I'm very shy and nervous about presentations. So I went to Toastmasters and like that. It is none of those. Instead, is completely different. Okay, I'm going to use my example as I work alongside this to show you how it is done. So the first step of my formula for how to answer the greatest weakness question is number 1, identify the weakness. We got to tell them what it is. So in my instance, it's I am overly empathetic. And I know this is not a strength masked as a weakness, even though it can come across that way. It is a shocking weakness because it's not one people hear all the time. And I do like that little like, huh, face that interviewers would make when I would share it, but it's a true weakness. And I'll tell you how in step number 2 of the formula, which is the pain point. You need to explain why it's a weakness. And this is great if you are a perfectionist and it really literally has gotten in the way of your success. The pain point gives you the opportunity to show that rock bottom, to show the struggle, to show how it's hindered your success. For me, my empathy has hindered my success in 2 different ways in my 2 old careers. In the mental health field, it meant that I got burnt out because I was absorbing everyone else's pain. And I was also absorbing the lack of care some long-term employees had. They got jaded and I really like took it all on. And in recruitment, oh, Sarah. So in recruitment, I would have a bleeding heart and I would interview people and they were really bad at interviewing, like so bad. And I would be sitting there thinking, no one is going to hire these people. This person is horrible in interviews. So then I'd want to hire them. And I'd present that, to the manager, to my boss. They'd be like, really? So that was the pain point of realizing that being overly empathetic was not always a good business choice. So the pain point really shines a light, it paints a picture of how it's gotten in your way. And then we go to step number 3, which is overcoming it, how you overcame your weakness. So all of the steps that you took, the actions you took, the thought work, the time and intent, whatever you did to overcome it. So for me, when I talk about empathy in the recruitment process, is I overcame it by recognizing it was not up to me to save everyone. Like, that's my God complex in a way. It is not up to me to hire everyone who can't get a job. If they are bad at interviewing, that is not my problem to solve. Instead, what I did is I then went into step 4, which is I created a set of checks and balances to make sure that this didn't continue to get in my way. So those checks and balances were questioning my motivations for why I wanted to hire a person. And these are questions that I would ask myself when I would get to that place of this person is a yes. And I just added, can they do the job? Which is the big thing with a recruiter recommending is, can they do the job? But also am I doing this because I want to give them a job because no one else will give them a job? Okay, to recap, and how to answer the greatest weakness question. Number 1 is identify the weakness. You need to give it a name. You need to state it so they know what you're talking about. And then number 2, you need to talk about the pain point, how it got in the way of your success, how it held you back, how you did something wrong because of it. And then number 3, you need to talk about overcoming it, the steps you took, how you thought about it differently, the intent behind it, all of those little things. And then number 4 is the checks and balances that you continue to have so that it does not continue to be an issue. So that is how you answer the greatest weakness question. It is a formula that, again, creates such strong connection. It's authentic. It feels good to share this sort of story instead of like trying to rush through it like you're brushing it under the rug, or like, don't really look at this. I don't really want you to know. I don't really know what to say. Or giving some easy peasy one that everyone else can give and almost has the recruiters and hiring managers rolling their eyes. I want you to think about what really has gotten in the way of your success in the past and how you manage it now. And that is the key to an incredible greatest weakness answer. Now, share with me below what you use as your greatest weakness. Let me help you with this because I know sometimes it can be a challenge to overcome this. And if you don't know what this weakness could be, I recommend doing your Myers-Briggs type indicator on 16personalities.com because there's a strengths and weakness section there. You can take a look at that and see where that is. You can also look at your performance review to see if there's any areas of development that you are that have been identified and that you're currently working on. So lots of ideas that will help. And then when you comment below what it is, I can help you really flesh out the rest of the answer so that you are so memorable and you're doing it like no one else is doing it, creating this lasting impression. Okay. Subscribe so that you get notified when my next week's training comes out. Until then, have a great week. Happy days. Bye. If this training resonated with you, then join the Career You Love Academy. It's my group coaching monthly membership program that takes unhappy workers who are unfulfilled, exhausted, and dreading their days to finding work they love, where they're finally making more money, more of an impact, while having the time and energy to truly enjoy and love their life. You can join us by going to www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. Now that's a Sarah without an H. So it's www.saracurto.ca/CYLA. See you in there.